Hi, welcome back to Kavdaen's Bargain Bin. This is our second take because your host Cyro here is an idiot who doesn't know how to look at programs to see if he's muted or not. But my co-host Song is here. How you doing, buddy?
Hello. I'm fine. This is the second time we're doing this, and well, I
Off the
came on
top,
It's
we're,
fine.
we're running it back. Um, Thankfully, we caught it fairly early, so all we kind of missed on the first take is just a whole lot of bad jokes, which you're not going to be subject to again, and just beginning thoughts of Omens of the Third Age, because it was, trailer hit Wednesday.
Uh,
It was
Something
sometime this
like that.
past week. I can't remember.
It
Anyway,
was.
it's the week
It
of the
was the
trailer
third.
hitting
It was the third, and the third was Tuesday.
Tuesday. I was close. Anyway, Tuesday,
Yeah.
trailer dropped. We got to see three new heroes. I still don't think we should call this a whole set. This should probably be just an expansion, considering it's, at least as far as we know, lightning, and that's it. Um, but it's still hopefully going to be interesting. I know people are a little upsetty spaghetti about no elemental in the hero types, which I think is really only going to affect Aurora, which we've already
More or
talked
less.
about this,
Um,
but we're both kind of the same page. Like, yeah, she's about the only one who really cared because of Cilio. Sorry, uh, Wizard. We're hoping more wizardy, less convoluted
very much.
Runeblade lightning shenanigans. More wizard.
Oh, that pissed me off so much. I hated that. Um, but it is what it is. But yes, hopefully, just because I do personally really I personally really liked um what is it? I personally really liked the idea of wizard, and we just didn't get an actual wizard. Like Cyro said, it's just a kind of terrible it was just a kind of terrible, oh, we're doing this now, and it just felt like mediocre Aurora. And I feel like the reason Ocilio's working so hard now is because Aurora's gone, and he doesn't have that much competition.
Especially
So,
with like Kano also gone, and the only other one
oh
is
yeah,
Verdance. And
Verdance.
I mean, Verdance
Which
is
is,
Verdance.
yeah, not bad, but not crazy.
And
So,
then, of course, the star,
but
the star of the show, Ziggy Starlight,
Ziggy,
or non-binary David Bowie,
I don't know why you say Bowie like that. I think it's Bowie, but okay.
because I
Anyways,
want to.
but
I
yes,
hope it pisses somebody off.
uh, pisses me off.
Good.
Um, but yes, our lovely illusionist. I'm so happy to see another illusionist, even if people are mad about it.
I'm
Die mad.
apprehensive.
No, that's no. Yeah, I
I'm
now
always apprehensive when it comes
here.
to illusionists, though.
Yeah.
Even as someone,
Now my hot take is that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, even as someone who plays Prism, I'm still apprehensive of illusionists.
Yeah, that's understandable. It is. I feel like they are very easy to go wrong, but at the same time, if yeah, but at the same time, when they go right, I feel like they can be a lot of. I feel like I feel like they have the potential to go right. They just haven't yet.
Yeah,
Um,
well, Prism Awakener Prism, not OG
uh,
Prism, is the closest we've gotten to them going right. I don't
Closest,
even
I do think that.
know if I would consider it
Sorry, go ahead.
still going right yet, though.
Yeah, just very, just very strong still. Even with the
Handicaps.
even yeah, even with the handicaps, which they did try very hard um to make sure that oh, she's not going to be broken, and I still feel like to an extent, excuse me, I still feel like to an extent she is very strong to the though just not quite as much as people used to, not as strong as some people may make her out to be. I know we have a friend who I think just hates on most illusionists just because, which I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Illusionists can be very rough, but still.
Indeed. But the hill you're going to
But
die on, or whatever, hot take.
oh right, um, this is how my brain works, just poorly. Um, I do think that I do think that Ziggy will be perhaps the first. I do think that Ziggy will not be the strongest hero in this set. Um, I mean, I'm honestly guessing that I'll probably end up going to Aurora again, but it's still nice, at least in my mind, of that. Oh, this isn't horrific and terrible compared to normally, so I
I
am
don't know.
happy about that.
With all the talks of all the shenanigans you can flicker in and out, I'm not entirely sure I'd be confident in that statement quite yet until
Yeah.
until we actually see uh, some more things get announced and shown and whatnot. But we can only hope because track records aren't good for the class. I mean, Rimblade is also not
Yeah.
good for the class either, considering there's only one not like top of the meta Runeblade at least at some point, and that's when they had to kneecap. They actually just didn't give her any legs to stand on, and that's our old cousin Vinny. Woo, Vinny.
Yeah. She's currently the only one that is not horribly busted.
Or has never been horribly busted.
Yeah. She's just she has it rough.
She
Poor
does,
Vinny.
but I love her anyway because I can't help but love the odd one out. Um, but I guess long story short, on at least the three we've seen so far, is Aurora. She's going to do Runeblade shenanigans even without the elemental keyword because Lightning and Runeblade are honestly a terrible combination in general.
Yes.
Oh no, they both want to do the same thing? Crazy. Ziggy, I have apprehension. Song thinks it's going to be absolutely fine and handy dandy, nothing but sunshine and
Okay.
roses.
I didn't say that. I said what I said was that I think it'll be I what I said is that I think it will be
The worst
comparatively
hero out
not
of the three.
no, not the strongest. I I still think that probably the worst will end up being Ocilio unless they print like a lot of lightning wizard specific cards. But no, but I'm fairly certain that Aurora is going to
Oh yeah,
have the
Aurora's should be
is going
top.
to
I'd say Ocelia's probably going to be
very
worse
easily
because not because of like
because
the hero himself, probably just because he's a wizard. And to be good with wizard, unless you're brain dead, you have to be smarter than me. Well, actually, you have to be smarter than a lot of. You gotta be. So you have to have a much higher bar than me.
yeah, it's a very combo heavy class.
Indeed, and I know I can't handle it. I struggle with a lot.
Everything we know.
But I
Don't
still think
worry,
Ziggy
we know.
is. I think it's going to be a tie between Ziggy and Aurora, just because illusionist curse,
Yeah,
and then
like
Obsilia
I
at the
said,
bottom.
we can only hope, and by we I mean mostly just myself.
Yeah, because I don't care enough. Um, I will say now I am not super excited for the set because I don't think kind of single focus sets are interesting. Like a lot of the recent ones haven't been
Understandable.
my cup of tea. I don't particularly care if it's, pirate themed or lightning themed. What was the? Oh, fuck, I'm drawing a blank on the name. Lyath set.
Oh, Super Slam.
Super Slam. I knew it was something.
That was a weird. That was a weird set.
Which was
I'm just gonna be
the one
honest.
I've liked. I liked it okay enough. Like it was a fine set. I haven't had any much interest in. Anyway, back to the topic. Super Slam is probably. I mean, of course, Compendium doesn't count because it's just a support set, and it has literally everything in it.
Like I said, it was a weird set. I don't entirely understand it,
I do. It
but
makes a lot of
it
sense.
certainly.
To support Silver Age a little bit and just give a little bit more love to all the different classes. It makes sense. You need that every once in a while. They haven't had that since what, Everfest?
Not sure they haven't.
And it's just nice sometimes, along with reprints, because God knows we need reprints as much as we can.
The reprints were the best. Was the best part of the set.
Reprints are the best part of every set a reprint shows up in, to me.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I am a rat bastard who does not care about your cardboard stock.
Oh yeah, me neither. No, screw that. You don't. You don't need to. You don't need to know. You don't need cardboard. Go
Yeah,
away.
exactly. Anyway, um, yeah, that's why I don't. Omens. Ah, it kind of reminds me of Dusk of Dawn, except less interesting.
That's fair.
Because again, it's one talent that we know of, three heroes that we know of, and assuming at this point these are actually probably just the three heroes we're getting, it's kind of like um, Mistveil, except less interesting because it's not new, but hopefully
Yeah.
less busted than Mistveil because Mistveil.
Yeah. This. Oh, this fail. I liked Enigma, but she was not good for the game. Just in general, she
No.
was bad for the game.
And Zen, who?
Zen was just as bad.
I'd say worse considering
Yeah, he was pretty bad.
he led to a
Just
lot of
in general.
bans and a rework
The
of the Blitz LL
entire
system.
game, practically. That too. Um,
Rest in peace,
I
Blitz.
mean, I'm gonna kind of blame him for the book bannings, as
Oh
I'm
no,
pretty
that
sure
yeah,
that ended up being his fault too.
yeah. It was partially his fault for that. Art of War being banned, Bonds of Ancestry being banned. Like there was a lot of things that happened all because of Zen. Like Zen was a fucking menace. I'm glad he's in hell, even though I plan on building him in LL because now I have stuff that would be fun to play with him.
That's fair.
But as a
I mean,
Tiger build,
I still think he'll be a fun hero, but no, he was horrible for this. He was not good for the game.
no. But
Um,
something I just thought of. What are your thoughts on the fact we're getting Aurora again, and we haven't seen some heroes in years now, even though Aurora's been gone for how long? Not
so
not that long. Because I saw some discourse around
my hot
that too, where people were like, "We got Aurora again, but we still haven't seen Lexi or Briar or Oldham or
I did see that,
Chain
and my hot take is
or
oh god, no, we don't need another chain.
we have
Chain is a
Finzet.
menace to
We have Finzet.
Train is a menace to every format.
He is. He needs to fucking be buried under concrete.
We don't we don't need him. Go away,
But
Chain.
I kind of get it from like the elemental hero perspectives because sure they were terribly busted, but I know we talked about it
Horribly busted.
like
But yes,
in
continue.
messages over. I think a lot of the reason why they were so busted is the fact that they had stupid hero abilities that were too good.
They were horribly good.
Like
To the
just
point of where I do think that it broke a lot. But
too good. Like I don't even remember
uh-huh.
Briars or Oldhams or anything, and I don't feel like digging through one of the boxes behind me of Tales of Aria. I have to see if I can find a token
I mean
copy, like a copy of one of those assholes right now. But I remember
I remember
Briars along the
roughly.
lines of whenever you play an attack action after an on attack action, you make a embodiment of lightning token or something along those lines. Again, I don't remember off the top of my head that well.
It was something crazy like that, yes.
Or you've done like two attack actions, turn you create an embodiment of Earth token. It's like, okay,
Uh
yeah, sure. Just reward the Rune Blade by, for doing basic ass things. Sure. Let's do
Oh,
that.
truly.
And the same thing with
I mean, to
Oldhim,
be
where it's
fair, I
like,
think
what was his? It was a defense reaction, prevent damage, or something like that. I can't remember. Now I want to look it up. Hold on. Continue your thought.
I do think that to an extent, uh, there was a there was a time where basic Runeblade wasn't wasn't actually that crazy. It's been a long time since that happened, of course, but I do think that there was at one point a time. Um, Now that is not true anymore,
Oh,
but I mean, it did take Vincent 4 years to become good.
ish. I wouldn't call her
Vincent,
good.
not Vincent. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Viserai.
yes, fair.
Um, but yeah, it took that long, and I still think that Viserai wasn't. I mean, I still think that Viserai isn't particularly crazy compared to some, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is still kind of a idea of that rune blades after, especially after Rosetta, became horrifically busted. Like a lot of them have just started plowing through various formats, and so it is just a matter of, well, now that it's a problem again, we have to see, like, is it going to be that bad? Maybe it'll be fine. But I do think that it does not look good for Aurora, to say
No,
the least.
no, especially with the more and more and more support we've gotten over the years since Tales of Aria, which is kind of like that, like I said, that tipping point of them being kind of like, well, no, because didn't Monarch come out beforehand, or am I misremembering?
Monarch came up first, I think.
Okay, so really it was
I
with
believe
Monarch
Monarch was set 3.
because
Yeah.
Chain, oh Chain, ugh, Chain,
Oh, Chain.
and then Tales of Aria didn't help whatsoever. And circle back
No.
around on what the heroes did. Briar was when an attack action card you control deals damage, create an embodiment of Earth, and then whenever you play your second non-attack action each turn, create an embodiment of Lightning for Briar.
That's not understood. No.
No, Oldhim was indeed a defense reaction, which was if for 3. If you pitched an Earth card, you prevent the next 2 damage to yourself, and if it was an Ice card, the attacking hero puts a card from their hand on top of their library. Totally
Yeah.
not disruptive whatsoever. And then Lexi's was turn a face down card in your arsenal face up. If it's a lightning card in your next deck, it's go again. If it's an ice card, create a frostbite token under a hero's target hero's control. Not too bad,
Which,
honestly. Out of the 3,
uh,
hers is the most reasonable, which is saying something.
yeah, it. It just really isn't like there just really. I don't think there really is a good way to make things fair. Um, but it is what it is. So,
I don't know. I still
but
think
I
Jarl is a great example of making it fair. Mainly just give him a dog water ass ability.
that's true.
Although I think they're also trying to go into the whole, at least like with Jarl, into the whole equipment destruction thing that Guardians kind of always had, but no real payoff for. I mean, still not much of a payoff, but at least it's something and some sort of interaction with it. But I still think there's a way to have your multi elemental type elemental heroes and not be, you know, those 3.
Per-
But I think with
Perhaps.
Omens, and to a lesser extent Rosetta, I think they're afraid of having those kind of moments. And I think this is another step.
Mm,
Like, Rosetta was like the first step away from having that kind of moment again where you had the oppressively good elemental heroes.
Hmm.
Only one element, half the card. Sure, makes sense
Yeah,
theoretically. And I think they still had too good
and
of abilities, though, is the problem. And now we're going to
yeah,
another step, which is take out the elemental and see how this goes. Which, to be fair, depending on what the kind of support, the whole lightning flow mechanic, which is something we have not even remotely gotten close to talking about yet, but we will, I'm sure, here shortly. Uh, what kind of support that has to see if maybe it's just the hero abilities, guys.
potentially. Um, I do think that. I mean, it is kind of. I feel like it is a little tricky to tell, but I do think that potentially the. I do think that maybe the hero abilities will be different. I do think it kind of depends. So, if you are not aware, what LSS has done is it has put the hero abilities behind a kind of a pay of sorts. So I'll just read. We'll read Aurora's because Aurora's is the simplest. Aurora's is an instant pay 2 resources and tap her. Destroy a lightning flow you control. Create an embodiment of lightning. If you don't know what embodiment of lightning does, it just lets you. It just gives your next attack go again. Now,
Mm-hmm.
lightning flow, from what it appears, does nothing. It is just
Yes,
a resource that you make for the sole purpose of paying things.
because
That being said,
I was going to
sorry,
say
continue.
the token itself, the lightning flow token, actually just says lightning flow, elemental token, aura. It has no sort of text on
Yes.
it. It's sort of like Ash from the Dromai days, at least as far as we can tell.
Yeah. Now, I do think that, now, kind of with that, I do think that there will probably be cards that interact with lightning flow a lot
Of
like
course.
Ash. I'm sure honestly, I think we've seen some already.
I
I
think,
mean,
hold
there's, let's see. So we have, did you
on.
have something to say?
No, I'm just trying to. There we
Oh,
go.
okay. So, for example, we have Astral Strike, which says when this attacks, if you destroy a lightning flow this turn, choose one, and then it's the Enlightened Strike ability. So draw a card +2 attack or go again. Which, all right, that is certainly a lightning card.
Yeah.
It's
There's another
um
one on LSS's Omens of the Third Age page, which is Storm Shard. You may destroy a lightning flow you control rather than pay the resource costs. Target lightning attack is +3.
Oh, I haven't seen this one actually. Let me
Yeah.
I'm now I'm interested. So, but that's interesting. So I do think that yeah, so I do think that lightning flow will be one of those things where you have to make a lot of them to just continue doing lightning things.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Or at least the things
Um,
that the heroes want to try to do.
yeah. What did you say this card was?
Storm
Storm Shards?
Shard. Singular.
Strangely, I cannot. Strangely,
Storm
I cannot find
Shard.
it.
One word.
Yeah. I'm
Hmm.
just I'm just having trouble finding it, but I'll find it eventually, or you'll send it to me or whatever. But no. But that being said, I do think that we'll have an interesting idea, because I do think that perhaps that will help rein Aurora in, especially because her main. I feel like part of the reason why her ability was so powerful was because all you had to do was play a lightning card.
Mm-hmm.
She ran almost entirely lightning cards.
Who would
That's
have
not
thought?
hard for her. Wow, surprising. Um, but comparatively, yeah, here we go. But so perhaps that will help. I do think that perhaps what will make the biggest deciding factor for Ziggy will be whether or not Ziggy um does like proper board state things as per most illusionists. I We obviously will be seeing some play with auras. That is part of their hero ability as well as a pretty typical illusionist thing. But I feel like not having like allies to uh obliterate people with is perhaps may end up making a difference. That would also be, I believe, the first since I'm not even going to count OG Prism because she had her
Enigma. What do you mean?
50,000. I mean Enigma, yeah. So Prism and OG Prism and Enigma, where they don't have allies proper, but they still kind of do with their auras stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do think it ends up. Let's see. I mean, as far as we're aware, oh, Storm Shard. There we go.
Yes.
Um, as far as we're aware, hollow counters, which is Ziggy's thing, it just lets you flicker an aura,
But
which does
something
have some.
that I just remembered
Go ahead.
with Ziggy is the weapon, their weapon, which
Yes.
which brings up the
Is
really interesting thing. Interesting in a way. I don't know if it's good or bad. I can't remember what it does exactly off the top of my head because for
I
some
can tell you.
reason
Do you want me to tell you?
I'm going to bring it up so I can verbatim
Okay.
read it.
I mean, I have it up too. I'm just on the judge page. Um,
You neato. Uh, tap. Well, pay one tap. Deal 2 arcane damage to target hero. Activates this only if an aura with a hollow counter has entered the arena under your control this turn. Which are they just
is
trying like
interesting.
they're just trying to make Zig into a wizard? It feels like, which is a choice. I
Is
feel
interesting.
it's a
I
convoluted
honestly
wizard, which
don't.
is saying something because wizards are already convoluted. At least
I
the
don't hate
weapon.
it.
We don't
I
know
don't
what
hate it though. I think it's interesting. It's new
it's something.
at the very least.
I don't know if it's a
Um,
good thing or a bad thing, but it's certainly something.
yeah. Um, Now I do think that now what I have seen is that it does appear that Ziggy will have a bit of a higher emphasis on arcane damage than I think previous illusionists.
Mm-hmm.
Other illusionists, let's see, Dromai had what? That's the,
A little
it
bit from what I
shames me as the
remember.
dragon player. I know Vincerakai did some. Vincerakai did arcane damage, and then I think was it Asvali. Anyway, so there were two dragons. It was Asvali. Asvali and Vincerakai did deal arcane damage, but for the most part, it was only those two.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Prism. I think she has like what
Well, Prism had a
an or
few
was it
options when it comes to arcane. At least the Awakener Soul Prism, Advent of Thrones, that combo. Of course, there's the
was it
original Monarch aura that was whenever a non-token. No, was it non-token? Or was it
uh,
just whenever an aura left the
aura or
battlefield?
attack action?
Yes, left the
Merciful
battlefield.
Retribution.
Yeah, it would ping. Then there's the Herald of Ravages, which would ping. There's Sakim, Archangel of Ravages. She would ping both on entering as a figment and then on attack. And then there's the Herald of Sakim, which also does arcane damage. So I think out of all of the illusionists so far, Prism's been the most arcane, which is still not a whole
Yes.
lot considering. At most, you could
Yeah, but it
have
looks like
what, 6, 12, 16 cards that could deal arcane in a deck if you were just like full send it, which not bad, but
nobody would.
not ideal
Yeah, but
whatsoever.
yeah, and people just I don't think would because that just isn't quite the
It's just not ideal to
way that
play.
a lot of
Yeah.
yeah. Where it does appear that Ziggy is going to focus more on it. Another card that was revealed from the Armory deck this time is a card called Stardust Spike. It's an aura. Wow, surprise. That says
Wow.
when this leaves the arena, gain a resource and amp one. So
Oh yes.
clearly, amp is going to be a theme for Ziggy. If that's one of, I mean, that is a Lightning Illusions card. It's pretty clearly
Mm-hmm.
made
Meant for.
for them.
Yep.
Um, so I do think that we will finally see an illusionist that is going to be a lot heavier. That is going to be heavier arcane, which Cyro said, it's going to be kind of odd, but certainly will be interesting to say the least.
And the more I think about it,
So
it's probably going to be even harder to balance than a traditional illusionist, considering how hard arcane is to work around already.
yeah, Arcane is kind of tricky. I do think that let's see,
But
Runeblades I think have it.
I will
Okay,
say,
I will shut up for a second. Yes, continue.
with an emphasis on arcane, that typically comes with, at least if it's like a hard focus, not like Runeblade focus, where it's kind of like it's in between, a little bit here, a little bit there. If it's like the main damage output, typically
Yeah,
the heroes who focus on dealing arcane are harder to pilot. So hopefully that helps balance it out to where like if you're playing against somebody and they're like and they play well, it's kind of like that's fair, that's well deserved. They win. Like you can't be too upset about it.
yeah. I I do think that kind of on that same idea is kind of where I think Aurora was perhaps particularly tricky because she had so from what I remember she had a lot of times of just beating you in the face with attacks for like 0 for 4s, which is one of the
Hmm.
reasons why she is pure lightning. There were like 3 or 4 different cards of hers that were elemental that just essentially were a 0 for 4 go again,
Yeah, which
which
is
of course is
insane.
kind of crazy. Um, let's see, but but comparatively, because she's all lightning, she is going to have significantly less. Um, but what ended up also being an issue with her was that she could on occasion just she could on occasion just go oops and beat you in the face with like 10 arcane damage from either like uh let's see
Arc
shock
lightning, or what is it
and
called?
yeah
Yeah.
arc lightning, burn up shock. um
And just some like elemental lightning cards, or even just lightning cards that were just like, yeah,
yeah
here,
let's see
deal 2 arcane.
arcane yeah again shock there were Sire did have a point in like with cards like
I
no, that's
can't
lightning
remember
and
some of their
elemental.
names right now, but they were from
I'm
Aria.
I'm I'm
I
looking it up.
yeah, I
The
can have
static shock, which
that
was
was one of
from
them. Yep.
her deck, which that was a printed for her. Arcanic Shockwave is the same thing.
Hmm.
Uh, the main the main offender, of course, was Flicker Wisp, which when paired with when paired with Arc Lightning, just it just doubles all arcane damage that she deals in a turn.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally reasonable.
So, uh-huh. So, that was another really big problem. Um, now, perhaps there will be benefit in that I believe um one of the most offending cards is Electromagnetic Somersault, which is let's see, it's restricted in Living Legend, and I think let me let me find out because I don't know if electromagnetic somersault I believe has been determined to be one of the most egregious lightning cards from Rosetta because it just either you
Yeah.
block and then get cards back or you just get back an attack that was already kind of really good.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's a very
Um
interesting card, but
it is, but what I believe it was kind of broken. Another one is Gone in a Flash.
hmm
Gone in a Flash is another card that's just horribly
it's the
well,
same thing
yeah,
essentially for those who don't know.
it's busted.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good. It was so annoying from what I remember too. Um, but yeah, so electromagnetic somersault was a problem. Gone in a Flash is another problem, and just I think the ability to just go again, bonk, 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 bonk. Oh, here's 15 arcane damage, which is what the problem Lucilio is facing now. Is part of the reason why he's so powerful.
Hmm.
But
But to be fair, he's a
it is
wizard.
Yeah, which
To have 15
I
damage by a wizard on a turn, it's like, God, that sucks, but okay, yeah, sure, sounds good. Runeblade, though, unless it's like the old school, like OTK kind of build, it feels real bad. And if it's just like, oh, this was like one of my 3 combo turns,
yeah,
which is what kind of her
like
problem was, from my understanding as well. It's like, you see, arc lightning, it's like, okay, cool. A lot of arcane damage on top of everything else. A couple turns later, oh, here's another arc lightning. It's the same thing again. Run it back.
yeah, especially when you then have to specifically account for arcane damage with at least one piece of equipment, and that ends up becoming a real problem because that usually ends up taking away blocking
Mm-hmm.
from the slot that you need to. Yeah, that takes away blocking from the slot because you need to account for the like 15 arcane damage that she can just
And
throw
then
at you.
there's the problem of the 15 arcane with, you know, 12, 16 some odd regular damage because all the normal 0 for 4 go against you're getting thrown at you.
Hmm. Speaking of combo turns, here's a question: what are your thoughts on Channel Lightning Valley staying in the format?
um,
If
I
you
kind
don't
of
know,
am indifferent
sorry, go ahead.
to it because I don't really deal with a whole lot of lightning in general, even though even though I do have a Briar deck, which I'm pretty sure I have 2 or 3 copies of Channel in it. I don't remember. I don't really.
I want those. Sorry, continue.
They're my deck. Shut up. Anyway, uh, I don't really remember what exactly. I know it does arcane.
No, it just lets you draw a card whenever you hit.
That's what it was. It was
The
draw a
first time
card
you
on
hit,
hit.
the first the first time
Yeah.
you deal
Okay. Yeah.
damage
Yeah.
each turn, draw a card.
Yep. 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 And then of course the channel flow counters, yada yada shenanigans.
Yeah, whatever. Nobody cares about those.
No, especially if you're playing a solo elemental type deck.
Yeah.
I actually
Oh
think
no, that's like half the cards.
they're more balanced with the OG Aria heroes than they are with newer elemental heroes, which is so funny if you think about it.
It is really funny.
But I don't
Uh,
know. I mean, Asilia's the only one we have to worry about right now. I'm sure when Omens comes out, it's going to become much bigger of a problem, and that's when I'll have an opinion. But for the time being, I really don't care about them being around, and it's whatever.
yeah. I do think. Let's see. I do think that it may become a problem once we get another three lightning
I'm
heroes
sure it
into the
will be,
format,
but
simply because. But it will be something that we
that's a
will have to see,
problem
I
for
suppose.
future me, not current me. Not that I get to play
Oh,
too often anymore, anyway.
which is
Sad,
sad.
but
I am happy that at the very least I do still have my weekly armories, which I do try to attend,
I have my Sage
which you should
decks.
do too.
I always go to a weekly
Oh
army if you're
yeah, the
able
stage
to.
decks.
One of them's not done. The other one is, at least. But it's because I can't find the damn cards I need. I know I have them.
Actually, let's speaking of Sage,
Actually, yeah, because there have
let's
been some
move.
changes with Sage in this past week or so. Some
Uh,
some
well,
banning
there
and
was that, and I was also
unbannings.
going. Yeah, well, I was also going to say, what are we thinking about? I mean, obviously, we don't know enough about the enough about Ziggy to know how that'll work, but um, I did want to, I do think it is worth mentioning. What do we think the ramifications of all of these lightning heroes being in Sage will be? Briar's already been kind of one of the unofficial queens of the format, especially since Chain left because Chain was horrible.
Well,
Um,
wasn't I remember people talking about there's one hero around when Sage was first released, and I thought it was Briar. It might have been um, Ira. I can't remember exactly, but they're basically just there to counter all the chain players. And I think it is Ira now that I think about it a little bit more. But Briar, I don't know. I don't think Briar's. I don't really care about. I haven't got to play Sage yet, so I haven't had to deal with any of the BS like that. And if I do, I'm going to lose anyway because I'm playing Hatch's Bolton or something stupid like that rather than a good deck. Um,
Yeah, but
but
it's fun.
the addition, I think it's another one we'll have to wait and see because I don't know how the heroes are going to do, considering we don't really have any info on what all creates flow count, like flow tokens.
Yeah.
We don't know
Current,
like
current.
what can help the engines roll with them. If it's primarily like majestics, they're gonna suck. If it's a nice even spread, they'll probably do just fine. If it's mostly rares and everything, they'll probably still just do fine, if not do well.
Well,
Um,
so I will mention. Sorry to interrupt, but I will mention that there are the cosmic, the not cosmic, the duality cards. Um, that are it's a common and it's a rainbow common, um, which means it's all three colors. That just says instant pay one, discard this, deal one arcane damage to
mm-hmm,
target hero, create a lightning flow token. So we at least know there's that. Now the
fair.
payoffs is still yet to be seen, but
Yeah. And
um,
something else to take into consideration, both Lightning Press and Burn Up Shock were banned in Sage just this past week,
mhm,
which those are pretty good cards for Lightning. Like those are really good
yes,
cards for Lightning. So
especially Risen
I
Blade.
I don't think it'll be as bad, especially with things like that gone. And what else? Aether Spindle was also banned,
Yes,
so
which
that's kind
I
of
need
like
to take
another
that out of my. Yeah,
little.
I need to take that out of my Icelander deck too.
You can put Amulet of Ice in now because that was unbanned.
It's true. With all the ice attacks that I use in the
Yeah,
almost entirely arcane deck,
look, don't worry about it.
I'm not that good at Sage. I'm not good with Icelander. In fact, I'm very terrible with it. But I thought,
Look,
oh, it'll be
like I
fun.
said, I am building a Bolton, a Hatchet slash Decimator Great Axe Bolton deck for Sage. It's surely better than that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I don't know. It's kind of one of the ones we have to wait and see. There's not enough info yet to have any strong opinions on like what is and isn't. I know that's like not the oh we got to talk about all the things and we got to speculate really hardcore, but
Yeah,
I also kind of need more information to speculate off of. I can't look.
yeah.
My one idea is already out the window, which was Aurora's going to be a light lightning hero. That's a fucking shot in the foot.
I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure it was always kind of a off the walls theory,
That was my
anyways,
crack
right?
pipe theory. Uh, Speaking of crack pipe theories, let us know yours in the comment. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Uh, but no, I will
In
say
case.
one thing I am sad about. We don't have like an antagonist in the set as a hero. Because I really love whenever we
Well,
have an antagonist in the set as a hero.
at least not that we see yet. There's
I,
always the chance that we have another hidden hero, though. Unfortunately, it might end up just being Scurv again.
it'd probably just be
Um,
like, here's Levia Marvel, ha ha ha, or something like that. Or Levia, as
well,
people. Actually, I think that's how you pronounce it correctly, is Levia, but it's Levia. Fuck you.
that would be a gem pack thing. But
Well, not necessarily,
um,
because Briar was um, Marvel and Rosetta, and I think
well, that's true.
it wouldn't
Not
surprise me.
Slippy, original one. But I mean, I do fear that normally it is a little bit more related to the set. So I think if we would see a Marvel, it would probably be like I don't know. I don't actually know
I
who
don't
we
know.
would see
Trailer
a
gave me
Marvel of in the
straight
set.
up Shadow vibes, and I'm still sticking by that. Sure, it's probably more like old ones vibes. Sure, I don't care. Give me my demons. Damn it, I want them back.
Now,
Please.
now here's actually something that I have thought about, but haven't really paid attention to. But here's a good time to bring it up. Uh, do you think that this will finally be the what is it? the precursor to the long since forgotten and speculated upon uh, PVE format? Probably not, but
Probably
it would be
not,
interesting.
but honestly, I hope so. At least give me something else with Unity, like a little hint card. Like, just give us a little bit more, like, we haven't forgot about it, guys. Because we haven't seen Unity since Dusk to Dawn.
That's true. I do think that this would be a decent stuff for Unity. It is a very we're all these people we are trying to team up against the forces
Omens
of chaos.
or something.
Um,
Yeah, whatever it is. I don't know.
the old ones.
Yeah. And look, uh, Aurora Sword saved Cilio. Sorry, Spol Cilio from death or whatever. I can't remember.
It was original Cilio, and that's why it became Soul Cilio.
Yeah. So, like, that's Unity, baby. Ding.
Yay. We did it.
We did it. We became the Avengers.
We did it. Um, I mean, it would be interesting. Probably not, but
Probably not. I'd like it to, though. Because
it'd
I
be
think it
fun.
would be neat. Or at least at some point. Because, there's also the intermediary. That wasn't a real word. Whatever.
Intermediary.
Yeah. The intermediary sets, not sets, but product lines and everything. I think that'd be a good time to release the PVE mode. I thought I remembered seeing something somewhere
Mm-hmm.
about PVE though, like not too
Well, I
too
don't
long
know.
ago.
I didn't. I must not have seen that
I
because I
could have been
don't know.
smoking crack again though, for all we know.
That's true.
I thought
We know you do that
Aurora was going to
often.
be lightning light because I thought it would be crazy and fun, but no, they made it boring and boring.
To be slightly fair,
It would make no
I
sense.
mean,
It would make no
no,
sense.
not at
Like,
all.
not at all. It's like not even a little bit. But it would have been cool, and I would love to see people's reactions because they would be so mad, so mad. And that's what I live for. I love seeing people be mad.
Stay mad. No, that's fair. I mean, it does have interesting ramifications if that were to ever happen. Um, but I don't think we'll see anything quite that crazy for
No,
a long while.
no, not until they start running out of ideas,
Uh, yeah.
like hardcore running it, like um, Universe Yawn kind of level of running out of ideas.
No, don't speak their name.
I did it. I
Ah.
said Universe Yawn. That's totally different.
No, but I'm I. This is not the place to complain about uh,
No,
unnamed, very popular TCG. But I'm
no,
so tired of them. Go
true.
away. Go
That's the
go
time to talk
away.
about how we were supposed to have Chaos Levia. Fuck you, I'm calling it Levia still. And Lightning Light Aurora team up with uh help me out here. Light Bravo. He's going to be our Light Guardian. Calling it now. Bravo.
Does Bravo need more stuff though?
No, but you know what? That's something
You
I could
want him
actually
to.
see happening.
That's true.
Also, I
I
want to
do think that
crippling
Light
crush
Guardian
people with light cards.
that would be really nasty.
Because I love watching the joy leave people's eyes. But I wanted Omens of the Third Age to be Lightning, Light Aurora, Light Bravo, team up against Chaos Levia. Fuck you. And Shadow Arachne. Sure. I'm spitballing this on the spot, if you can't tell.
I am. Let's see. That being said, I do genuinely want to see more. What is it? I do genuinely want to see like more unique pairings. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, don't get me wrong. I am legitimately happy Aurora's back. Not for me. I don't care about her that much. I say like I'm not planning on building. So I'm going to side tangent for a second. lightning cards are expensive still. I
Yes,
think that they will probably reprint a whole bunch because it makes sense.
we need to.
But yes, we need to
Like,
because I
hold on.
mean,
I wanna, as you're
Dawn of the
talking,
Flash is like what, like $40, and so is Channel Lightning Valley, and so is Current Funnel. So like they need reprinted. It's horrible, but um, but at the same time, I do think that yeah, if I'm going to be spending money on lightning cartridge, I'm not going to be spending too much on anything expensive until the set comes out proper, just because I don't want to. Just because I don't have the money, and I don't want to. I do think there's a pretty high chance of reprints.
just
LSS has been doing very, very good about reprints
to interject slightly,
recently.
just for a moment.
Yes,
Shock Charmers.
we do need to see a reprint of those.
They
They're not
went.
actually that expensive.
No,
Oh,
they
did they
went
go up?
from market price $57. The current list price 90.
Gross.
Yes, because all the hype, and we can only hope is one of the situations where they've preemptively um, reprinted them. Because I mean, they're not like crazy good, but one additional damage for two resources and Spell Void two. It's kind of bad actually, but like I could see the case uses for this kind of deal, especially for Aurora.
Keep in mind that's not arcane damage.
No, it's just
It's just
damage.
unblockable. It
Yeah,
doesn't unblock one extra one.
yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, is it unblockable? Deals one damage to him. Yeah, I guess
yeah,
technically. Well, no.
because it is an arcane. Um, well, unless you have a prevention effect.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Prevention
prevention
effects will actually
effects.
deal with
Yeah,
this, but
but it's not. Yeah, you can't arcane it, which could be really good for two. And Spell Void two is it's
mhm.
okay. It can help, I guess. But yeah, it went from $57 market price to 90 current price, and like that's the cheapest one on TCG Player, which boo TCG Player. If you can buy elsewhere, whatever. Um, but still, it's kind of
Yeah,
we need reprints.
it's
It
still
hasn't been
a lot.
reprinted
We do need
at all ever. It's only
ever.
been Tales of Aria, which I'm still mad I didn't get any of that whenever I opened two whole boxes and instead I got the two cards I already have. But that's beside the point.
Yeah, which is understandable. I do think that. I mean, I do think that we are due for several fairly heavy reprints. A
Hmm.
lot of stuff from Rosetta. I mean, if they if they're willing to reprint the
Earth
what
cards
the
that
hell is
were
it called?
insane.
Yeah, the Earth
Plow
cards
Under and
in Super Slam a year later. I do think that it makes entirely enough sense to, um, yeah, it entirely makes enough sense to go, to reprint the Lightning cards in the Lightning set.
yeah,
Wow, shocking.
yeah. Who would have thought,
That
huh?
was unintentionally, but especially cards like I my brain is not
Like
working
the
because I'm trying to do
channel,
like three things at once.
Gone in a
Yeah, like
Flash,
cha-
really
yeah, all of
everything.
those cards.
Because even
Yeah,
like whenever they were
um,
like the new hotness and were in the current set, they were also expensive back then. Let alone
yeah,
now. Yeah, they just need
yeah. I mean, they
hard
were all
reprint.
expensive.
Just reprint. Just reprint.
So
Fucking
yeah,
print and go
I
burr.
mean, the I mean, perhaps the best thing I personally see is that all of the Earth cards are now like are now like a couple bucks
Hmm.
at most.
It's awesome.
Let's see. Yeah,
Awesome.
Sigil, which is Auxilio specialization, that's 30 nearly. But like comparatively, let me find the one that I'm thinking of. The ones that I'm thinking of. Yeah, like Plow Under and Felling of the Crown, which
Failing.
are
That's
like
why I couldn't
Earth
think of.
which are Earth staples. Both on TCG, less than $4, which
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Because
I
at one point
personally
they were
love
like
that.
30, 40
Yes,
each.
for a long time.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I specifically did not build. I mean, I was for the longest time going to build Florian, and then by and then I was just like, I'm not spending that much money. I don't want to on
Mm,
like because that's like what $240 on
yeah, two
um
places cards that
six
like
cards.
you need, unfortunately, because they're just so fucking good.
Yeah, well, they're so I feel like they're necessary because
Hmm. They really
felling
are.
is yeah,
Unfortunately,
felling
they
is an
really
eight.
are.
Yeah, felling is a 3 cost swing for 8 that also makes each hero sink. Also makes each hero put a card on bottom. And plow under is I think 3 for 6, except it no 2 for 6 that makes you that puts arsenals on bottom.
Hmm.
It's just really good.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm sorry. I'm also looking at other Rosetta cards to see like what cards we need to be thinking about. But yeah, so they just it's high time. So but they dropped so much upon reprint in Super Slam. I do think that this is that it is that any reprints will also do something very similar. Of course, also it doesn't help that like even the kind of middling cards like the middling lightning cards went up like eclectic magnetism, which is for the longest time been like
Like
three
shock
four bucks.
charmers.
Yeah, shock charmers, which has been like 50, which had been 50 for the longest time because nobody used it, is now high. Eclectic magnetism, which was kind of mid. It's I mean it's not bad, but it's a 1 cost. You can play your next non-attack action as though it were an instant. I think the idea was for it to be an Ocilio card, but
Hmm.
that shot up to $12. Um, I
Actually,
think also probably in
yeah.
preparation for Ocilio.
Or even Aurora
Um,
because, like, Spellbound Creeper shenanigans, but as a card rather than
yeah,
as part of equipment.
even even high voltage, which has been like barely a dollar, like $1.50 until last week, where it's suddenly $4.
Yeah.
Which I did buy. I did buy a few cheap lightning cards in preparation, but when I say cheap, I mean like less than $5 a piece.
Hmm.
But at the same time, like yeah, it went from so many lightning cards went up, and I do think that in um that those reprints are needed. I do think that'll happen. Like I said, LSS has been fantastic about reprints. Um, Personally, I am still very happy about the Antiquity Pack reprints
Oh
because
yeah.
even those have really affected prices. Like a Weakest Link, which was a uh, Mist Veil card for the longest
Hmm.
time, dropped from like 50, 60
Yeah.
bucks to it's now about 30, which is still high-ish, but
It is,
isn't
but at the
bad.
same time, it's a generic card that does
Yeah,
really good stuff
generic.
for you. It makes sense, but thankfully it's down.
Yes. Same with a lot of other cards like Call to the Grave, Midas Touch.
Art of War,
I think
Command and Conquer.
Art of yeah, Command and Conquer still sitting at about 40. Lightning Strike I want to say is like what still 35ish, something like that.
I don't remember.
Whatever, doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Um,
Long story short,
and of course Rusted Relic. Long story short, I they
reprint
have been
good.
very good with
We
reprints.
hope we get
I
more
am still
reprint.
hopeful. Yes, we reprint. This was a dumb tangent, but you know it's my
No, it's
tangent, so
no, it's a good point though,
whatever.
honestly, because the fact
Yeah.
that it is that's the kind of the problem with these kind of sets, which circle back around what I mentioned earlier about it being only a singular focus, is that they're all lightning. There's only
Hmm.
one thing to anticipate now, this whole set really, that we know for sure to anticipate for lightning.
Hmm.
Aurora, she was good. She's probably still going to be good. Stock up on your lightning cards. Oh no, prices now shot through the fucking roof because there's only one thing to get excited for lightning.
Yeah.
And
No, I do.
hopefully
It does make.
they preemptively fought against that, and everyone who has tried to, buy cars and resell them at a higher price get shafted because fuck you.
Agreed. Um, and I do, and I'm sure once we get once we get spoilers come what May.
Yeah, like late
Yeah,
April,
it's
early
May.
May, somewhere around there.
Uh, I mean, I think the set's
The world premiere
releasing.
is late
I think
May, like 20,
May.
20 something.
I
I
think
can't
like
remember.
20. I think it's like the 23rd. I know I told you at one point.
I can't remember what it is. I know
Um,
it's like late May is world premiere.
premiere. May 23rd. So May 23rd, which is I think it's a Saturday.
Probably.
Yeah, it's a Saturday. And the pre-releases start on the 30th, and then the set, quote
Yeah.
unquote, releases proper
So,
at the
like I said,
beginning of
probably
June.
late April, early May, we'll get spoiler season. We'll find out what's coming out. And hopefully, we are vindicated and the scalpers and flippers are not.
Yes.
Mainly, really just hopeful
Um,
that prices can drop to be more reasonable so more people get into the game. It just happens to
like
be if
me.
scalpers and flippers get screwed over, that's just a nice little bonus.
Exactly. That. So I am going to go on one more little tangent about why I particularly care about Aurora being reprinted.
Oh yes, because you have a good
Because
story.
yes, I do. So, well, I have a few. So, with Aurora, Aurora obviously was. I do think that LSS kind of put a lot of eggs into their basket of, oh, we want Aurora to be like the new, I say quote unquote face. We want her to be the a beginner friendly hero, which to an extent I think she kind of was. Her ability was very simple. Her gameplay was fairly simple comparatively to at least like Svinset and Viserai. Well, Viserai. But the hero I introduced my partner to was Aurora, and he just loved playing her. It was well, I say loved. He still didn't play a whole lot, but he really enjoyed Aurora, and so I personally am happy that Aurora is back, simply because I'm hoping that it gets him to play a little bit more. Um, so And I do think that she will still remain largely similar. She just may be a little bit more difficult to. She may be a little bit less simple, but
Hmm.
I do think that it will help. And I imagine that there's going to be a lot of people who may have started with Aurora who are going to be able to hopefully have her for a while. I do think that she will be a little bit more reined in this time. So I am hopeful. I do think that we will hopefully see good things from this. I do still think that Elsa should ban electromagnetic shock, or at least restrict it to like, or at least restrict it to one color, just in case. But not electromagnetic shock, electromagnetic somersault. There we go. But I am hopeful, and I'm really hoping that and I do think that it'll go well. Also, non-binary David Bowie reference. So
Hell yeah. But I think that's a great time to thank whoever decides to watch us yap and promise we'll be more consistent now. I promise.
hopefully.
I will hunt down Song for sport if I have to.
I mean, it's not like I'm running away, but yeah, I will admit that I've been also kind of bad about showing up and thinking and remembering to do this. So, but I am excited to hopefully
And
get
then the
back into the
holidays
swing of
and
things, especially as
wintertime.
yeah,
Just a
winter
terrible
always sucks.
combination of the three things.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
uh,
what?
thank everybody for
Go ahead.
watching. Do you have any final words before I release you from the cage and hunt you for sport?
Uh, fuck scalpers. Happy compendium release since we're very late on that. Uh, support your local game stores.
Support your local game stores. Hunt scalpers for sport, along with Song. Good night.